Oh yeah, I'm back already, y'all. Hey, this is Myron Pierce, and I just want y'all to know that I am ready for today. I am ready for today's conversation. It's going to be amazing. I have somebody who um, I'm actually looking for an individual. If you're on social media right now, I'm looking for an individual. If you have seen him, I posted him on my page. Go to Myron Pierce page, please, everyone. I am looking for him because he's an amazing dude that I think you should know. Now, if this is your first time visiting us, my name is Myron Pierce. I am the founder of the On the Pond Network, and we have one mojo, and that's to make sure urban entrepreneurs unlock every ounce of potential in them. And so the Big Fish Show every single week is here, powered by 95.7 The Boss, to bring you that bread and to break bread with you. And not just for the sake of entrepreneurship, but also for the sake of life. Here's what I know and realize as I celebrate my bipolar versary. I just made that word up, bipolar versary, around March, where, I was up in Colorado getting my mind right because I had too much on my plate. And I won't even say too much on my plate. I would say I didn't have enough structure. I mean, I pride myself in being the type of guy that, by nature, I'm not a structure guy. For all the people in the room who struggle with systems and processes and things like that. Some of y'all who just, fly by the seat of your pants, right? And I love you people. I love y'all. But over the years, I've learned as I have led in several different spaces, right? I've in several different staff sizes, several different, employee sizes, from just being a solopreneur all the way to being, managing and leading a pretty large team. And what I've recognized and discovered is that, piggybacking on last week's conversation about disorganization and how it is the number one culprit of making businesses that should be alive and thriving. They should be, but they aren't. When I was in the penitentiary, I've been in the system for about 20 years, right? At the age of, 13, 14, I'm in and out of the Douglas County Youth Center. 16, I'm on my way to prison. 18, I'm on my way to prison. And what I realized, even being in prison, the structure, right? The structure there. I mean, it is uniformity at its max. And as I sat back and took notes on that prison yard, inside that structure were a bunch of cats who were always talking about, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know them people? If you're watching or if you are listening by radio, do you know those people? Comment in the chat. Don't say their name, but do you know those people who, they are the shoulda, woulda, coulda folk? I shoulda did this, I coulda did this, I woulda did this. And sometimes the shoulda, woulda, coulda in our lives are based on the fact that we didn't take the responsibility or the time, you feel me, to put in the hard work of making sure that what we create what we lead, what we manage can be sustained. And the only way to sustain something, the only way to scale something is to make sure that you have systems. Listen, if you are in a relationship, there are some systems, right? There's a system of communication. You're not going to last long in any relationship if there isn't an agreed upon system of communication. Let me put it to you like that. If you're an employee somewhere, or maybe your management, and you have been tasked with the responsibility of making sure that those that you're leading are making the company money, and you're in the management system that you're using is contrary or in opposition to the culture and mission of that company, you're not going to be there for too long, right? And so we need systems, man. So if you watching me, you joining me, I want to welcome you today, right? This is probably one of the most important conversations or discussions that we need, because it's not just, systems for the sake of our businesses. No, y'all, it's systems for the sake of living. When you think about your body, all right, when you think about your body, when you think about what ingenuity it took to deliver you on this side of heaven, the masterpiece that you are, complex and yet amazing, that your body, my body, would have several different systems. For what reason? To make sure, or to ensure your survival, to ensure that you thrive. Can you imagine your life without a cardiovascular system? I'll let you think about that for a minute. Can you imagine your life without a respiratory system? Talk to me. No, you couldn't. You know why? Because you would not be alive. If you're local here to Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs, I got it down now. Thank you, William King. But if you're here, specifically, if you live in North Omaha, if you've driven through North Omaha and you've ever asked the question, how is it that a restaurant or a retail spot or business can get started and fail? And you could almost predict. Sad enough, I predicted, not because I know the future, but because I've studied patterns, not just in Omaha, but in several different cities where I've had the privilege and I've been privy to establishing entrepreneurial incubators in places like Colorado Springs, helping to pioneer work in South LA, Kansas City, Selma, Gary, Indiana. I mean, you name it. But after, and not just establishing hubs, but last year alone, working with over 100 entrepreneurs, and over my tenure of just being in the game, going from hustle to startup to business, failing, coming back, bouncing back, having coaching other people and figuring out where they're going wrong, and things like that, and recognizing that there are some themes to why one who is in business, or why one whose life, right, is not what it could be or should be. Why is that actually happening? It's predictable. What if I told you that I could give you a predictable pattern to ensure that your life and your business and your relationships could actually change when you recognize, to my big brother King's point, that's why he focuses on behavior, because we can, that one's behavior is the sum total of one's thought processes, right? Processes. And so what I'm trying to get across today to us is that There is a way that you can turn your business around. There is a way, and not just a way. Let me change that. There are multiple ways. Some of y'all right now, look, y'all tripping on who in office, right? I was just thinking about this. We tripping on who in office, or you know, gas prices going up. Them dang eggs. I went and bought some eggs the other day, 5, 6. But when we are introduced to a crisis, if you don't have a system in place on how you're going to respond to the crisis, you think people who are well resourced and own things are worried? You think Buffett was concerned that Omaha, Nebraska got a little small blizzard? I say small blizzard because what I grew up in and what we had the other day could, pale in comparison, just to keep it a buck. The Buffetts, the Hawks, all the big names, for the most part, this is a high assumption and opinion of mine. The wealthy, the affluent, the upper class, the middle class, you think they're worried when crisis comes? No, my friend, they're not worried. You know why? Because they have systems in place. And so if I'm talking to you right now, if you're listening to me, if you're watching, we're interacting, and you've had a business, or you've had an idea, or you've had things that you jumped off the porch with, you should be DMing your homeboy, your homegirl. You should be hearting this thing, commenting below, saying, Myron, I feel you, because what I'm about to get into is going to help change your life. Let me give you, I noticed something the other day, because I've been thinking about this conversation that we were going to have, and the conversation we had last week. And I was just thinking, man, like, this is really a big deal that we're talking about, because I've worked with people who have failed and who have succeeded. And sometimes all we do is look at those who have failed, and we look at their failure, but we don't look at why they failed. But then simultaneously, we look at those who were successful, and instead of celebrating their success and even reverse engineering it, we often hate on it. But it's the recipe for our own success. And those who are successful, I can tell you, are those who have systems in their life and their business. And I know I'm talking to people who are in the trenches right now. And maybe I'm talking to people who say, yeah, Myron, like, yeah, I don't have those problems and concerns. I want to invite you into a discussion and a conversation on how you can leverage your influence and your affluence for those of us who do have those concerns, because wouldn't it be an amazing opportunity to bridge the gap? No pun intended. Shout out to William King, baby. So I've been looking at these successful entrepreneurs that I've been coaching over the last well over a decade. And they all have 3 systems in place. And I can almost, when I was predicting the failure of businesses, I didn't have a framework for it. You feel me? I didn't have, like, I didn't have the blueprint for it. I just could feel it, and I could just, but that wasn't enough. You feel me? It wasn't enough to be able to feel and say, yo, that business is going to last. That business is not going to last. That idea that person just came up with is not going to last, let alone the plethora of like startups and ideas. I have an idea every 30 seconds, right? 99% of them fail. But these systems, I call it the M.O.E framework. Wouldn't you like to have more money? I'll wait. What if I told you that you could have more money? What if I told you that you could have more influence, M.O.E? What if I told you that you could have more affluence? What if I told you that? What if I told you that you could have more influence and that you can use your potential, you can use your network, you can use your gifts, your passion. What if I told you your life in the next 30 days could be different if you simply took the framework, which is this? If you can get clear on your mission, if you can organize your hustle, and if you can execute consistently, that's the sauce. People that I've coached who have gotten crystal clear on their mission. I was on my way over here, and I'm still looking for a guy, and I got another guy who's supposed to be calling in. And I'm on my way over here, and I'm realizing that even a person with a failed mission is better than someone who hasn't clarified their mission. Why? Because failed missions provide insight for feedback that I can use to get better. You with me? But a mission that I don't clarify is a mission that I can't complete. And you wondering why, and I've been wondering why there have been things in my life I haven't completed. Relationships that you could have started that didn't get started because you didn't clarify your mission. You didn't clarify what you were looking for. And as I'm in my 40s, I done lived 40 plus years, and I feel like all this wisdom is trickling down lately. And I'm realizing that I could have eliminated 90% of my mistakes, maybe, by getting clear on my mission. I think about that because when I was growing up in the hood, we knew exactly what the mission was. Exactly. Babies understand this better than anybody. They really do. They understand this, and kids understand mission. They understand mission more than we realize. In fact, if you want to learn how to run a business, talk to your kids. How could you say that on 95.7 The Boss? I just did and did. Because kids know what they want, and they aren't tainted by the world. I'm talking about early on, right? 3, 4. I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to be changed. It's clear. They come sliding out the canal, surfing. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Hawaii. I can't wait to go back. They come sliding down the canal, surfing on that thing, right? And then they come sliding out like, woo. And then some of them come out quiet like, yeah, I'm here, baby. I'm him. Been waiting to see y'all. And then they put that baby on that little thing. They warm that baby up, and they before they warm him up, they do the chest to chest. You know, it's all a system, right? Because we've been built in such a way that we need skin to skin, right? We need that. That's the way that we, you know, what's up, my man? That's the way that we rock and roll. It's in our biology that we need to belong. You feel me? That's a system. And so kids, babies even teach us that unclarified mission, an unclarified mission is an incomplete mission because you have no earthly clue where you're going. A baby knows, I need to eat, I need to be changed, I need to sleep, I need to feel like somebody love me. The baby is clear. You and I used to be babies. Somehow we lost it. We let the world, we let society, we let the families we were born into mold us into versions of ourselves that are not even consistent with who we are. Not a wonder we don't know how to clarify our mission. And it's interesting to me because most people hustle without direction when it comes to mission. They hustle. Hear me when I tell you this. They hustle without direction. That's crazy. Because where I grew up at, communities I grew up in, ran with, it was all about it's about the grind. I got to get the bag, baby. I got to get it up. It's a new day. Early bird get the worm. I'm chasing a mighty dollar by any means necessary. At the age of 16, I'm trying to get the bag, man. Right? But I was hustling without direction. People who hustle without direction will always keep repeating the cycle of hustling without direction. How do I know this is important? Listen, okay, I was in a conversation with a guy who I had started mentoring years ago. Sitting down with him, I had known of him and kind of took him under my wing and just was like, yo, man, let's get together, bro. Let's get together. I love getting together with young dudes. That's starting to really get back to me right now, man, just working with young people. It's just starting to get with me. All right. And he sat down with me. And he's like, man, I like how you moving. I want in on that. And I told him, I said, hey, when you give a man a fish, right? All right, if you feed him, right? If you put them in the pantry line, we got 1,000 of them, at least. Thank God for them, especially when all the power go out. But what happened to the food banks? They weeks away from getting shut down. So I'm talking to him, right? We chopping, and I'm telling him, man, like, you know this. Give a person a fish, you feed him for a day. He leaned in. I'm like, I got it. And because I'd had these aha moments about what I'm about to share with you. And then I said, give a man a fish, you teach for a day. Teach a man a fish, you feed him for a life. I said, something wrong with that. Something wrong with that because there's something missing. Because if that was it, then my dollar wouldn't be circulating in North Omaha for only 6 hours. If that was it, then 5% of our disposable income for Black folks we spend with those who aren't white, and only 2% go back into the Black community. If that was the case, which is not. So because that's not the case, that I've created a culture where we've made pantries acceptable. I ain't knocking pantries. But ain't it time to own the pantry? Come on, somebody talk to me. Why has anyone ever asked you to be on a board of the pantry? Has anybody ever asked you to be on the advisory committee? Come on, why they ain't asked you? You got a job there? I'm not coming for the pantries, y'all. I'm not coming for the pantries. I'm making a point. Think. I want you to think. This show, I'm not trying to tell you how to think. I wanna antagonize you. I want to tease your thinking. You need it. I'm like a y'all remember the ice bucket challenge? I'm the ice bucket challenge, baby. They're not gonna tell you this, man. They're gonna give you the food, bro. Because they got a job every time you come back. But if you show somebody how to own a pond, you feed their family for generations, and you get into legacy thinking. My people, the M.O.E method begins with clarifying your mission. And as I stood before him, my mentee explaining this to him, he like, I want that. I want to own the pond. I want to, listen, it's Own the Pond Nation, baby. Who wants to own the pond? Who is tired of being renters? Who is tired of having a life out of control? Tag your friends. Tag your friends. Myron, I want to own a pond hoodie. Myron, I want to own a pond hat. Myron, I want to own a pond shoes. Myron, I want to own a pond rings. Myron, I want to own the pond glasses. Why am I saying? Why is he even saying it? Why are you dragging it, Myron? I'm not dragging it. You got to get this message down. You are not meant to be a renter. You are not meant to just to be a slave. You're not meant to just like you have so much more in you. And I'll be darned if William King is going to allow me the opportunity to be on here and I'm not be in your face and challenge you and encourage you and tell you that you better than that. That your business don't have to die, man. We need your business. There's some people in our community that's counting on your business to live, and there's some people in this community that's counting on your business to die because they see you as a threat. But don't worry about the threats. Keep doing you, because if God is for you, who can be against you, my man? On everything. On everything I love. If God is for you, who can be against you? But we got to get the mission right. And we have to clarify it. And part of getting the mission right and clarifying some things about mission, as I'm having this conversation with my mentee at the time, he says, I want to own the pond. I said, all right. See, listen, y'all. I hope this is the most watched show in America. That's my dream. That somehow this get picked up, because William King took a chance on me to get me in front of you, because what I got to say matters. And what you got to say matters. I want this to be the most talked about, most seen in the world, because we're building a community of people who are saying, we're going to own it, and we're going to do it through clarifying our mission. And as I'm sitting down with my guy and I'm saying, he like, I want what you got, man. Like, I want to own the pond. I want a marketing company, right? I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to have more time with my kids. I want freedom, because that's what ownership is about. Ownership is about freedom. It's about freedom. And I told him, I said, hey, fire your boss then. I ain't got time to play with nobody. Fire your boss, bro. If you own that, everybody know where I'm from. Everybody who know me know where I'm from. Everybody always know he owned that. He was on that then, and he owned that now. He was on that when he was living that life, and he owned that when he on this positive stuff now. He always been on it, and I've always been a person that I've been crystal clear on what I wanted, down to the T. And when I haven't, it's because my mind had been messed up. You know, sometimes it's hard to clarify your mission when you're distracted. Hello. What are your distractions? See, this is how we get down into the nitty gritty of how we really get this thing popping, you know, because I'm telling you about the M.O.E framework, you know, clarifying your mission, organizing your hustle, executing consistently. That's the framework. But this idea of mission, clarifying it, you have to first, like, you can't conquer what you don't confront, and you can't confront what you don't identify. So if you can't identify, like, these are the distractions in my life, you feel me? Bro, I done had distractions in my life, man. Listen, man, money became a distraction in my life. I'm the first, man. Let me put it like this. I think among my grandmama kids, and I was just saying this, among my grandmama kids, the oldest, I'm the first to touch millions and lose it all. Lose it all. 95.7 the boss family. How did he lose it all? Distractions. Some of y'all ain't ready to own. Not that you don't have the right to own. But if you can't even take care of somebody, you can't even take care of what belongs to somebody else. How you think you're gonna take care of? How you think you're gonna own? Your mindset ain't even in the right place. And that's why I ain't got no problem with tenant stuff. I ain't trying to say all that. And there's definitely some slumlords out here, and they need to get them people out from the view downtown. They whack and they robbing people. Y'all need to get rid of them folks. We need to get rid of them folks. But I'm talking about tenant landlords like me who real. You feel me? And I done been in situations like I'm been in the rental game. You know what I'm saying? I know some of us are not even ready for ownership because of the way that we think. We think like slaves, bro. We think like slaves. There's a system in place to keep you thinking like a slave. Y'all don't believe me? In your own mind. So watch this. 90% of y'all just said, yeah, they put a system in place. You done missed it, homie. You just started focusing on what they did. At least they did something. I ain't gonna I'd have lost all my viewership. They probably gonna kick me out after this. But the point ain't that at least they did something. The point is what are you doing with your system? If I'm just telling you that there are systems in play designed to change the way that you think, they're stopping funding up top. What do you think that does to the psyche? Putting a halt on education? What do you think that does to the mind? There is a creation of systems that are curated and designed to get us to adopt to them, whether it's through legislation or language or culture. It is a mission that people are on. And I'm here to say, if you get distracted by systems imposed on you without taking responsibility for how you have agreed to that contract, then that's on you, partner. Time out for people blaming. Let's start creating. Let's start taking ownership. Let's start moving up. Ain't nobody stopping us. There's nobody who can stop you but you. And most of our businesses have been stopped, not because of the man, not because of these men, not whoever. Listen, everybody done had their role in American history. We know what's popping there. We know what's popping. We know what's popping. And no matter how many people try to cover it up, you can never cover up history, because the blood of those who are in our history speaks from the ground. And I'm saying that to say, everybody else, y'all can rest easy now, and that you can now build on the shoulders of our ancestors, and let's make them proud of us by adopting and creating systems that will work for us, that can help us grow and sustain communities like North Omaha. but it begins by clarifying our mission. I'm going to give you a quote, and then I'm going to go to a little bit of music and come back and land on a couple parts on this about mission. But at least on this part, I need you to get this number one thing, that you have to clarify your mission. One way of doing that, your mission in your company, your business, your family, one way of doing that is being able to say, okay, what am I distracted by, and what do I dream about the most? What am I, write this down. What am I distracted? What are the top, what are the 23%? My grammar is off today because I'm getting excited. What's the 20% of my actions? What is the 20% distractions that are affecting the 80% of my life? Right? And then what do I dream about 80% of the time? And if you could start there, your distractions and what you dream about, it's the first step in clarifying your mission. Let's go back to some music, or let's get to some music. I know I've been intense on y'all neck because I love you. All right, I'll be right back.
DJ. Word. Sherelle, come on. Keep kicks the right rhyme at the right time in a black Jeep with Sherelle in the driver's seat. Socializing, dip, dive, and nodding to a fast DJ beat. Master of disaster, you can't shoot me. We treat the bands just like a hoopty. We make noise in the front with the chalk and the skunk. With the double pump and the trunk. Learn a lesson, we make it hot. I'm not a player, hiccup. Yo, I just diss a lot. Anyway, like I was about to say, I ran into this pretty little something yesterday. And you don't keep Jimmy walking style down the line. I said, I'm not married, but you look like my wife. She looked once, gave me props. Said thanks. I said, don't thank me, thank your mama pops.
What up? You want to call in? All right. Okay, hold on. I got. Oh, you called. I actually already called you. Hold on. Hold on, real quick. All right. I'm gonna get you in. Okay, hold on. Stay there. All right, y'all. We back. We back. We back. I was getting so excited for. I was getting so excited on the last segment. Uh, hold on, real quick. No, no, no. Okay, there we go. So I was getting so excited on the last um, segment. I wanted to bring my friend on, and his name's Mondo. Mondo, I want to have you on. We are live, so let's have a conversation. You were you on listening, Mondo?
And I hope we have a beautiful, enjoyable Sunday. So gorgeous out. I'm just kicking it outside right now.
Okay, hold on. For some reason I'm not getting you, Mondo. Hold on. Let me make sure I got you. All right. Okay. Yeah, you in. Hold on.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Are you there, Mondo?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay. So you were on. I was on, and we're talking all things system, and I talked about clarifying your mission. What you thinking?
Man, honestly, man, like it just feels like you're talking on my soul because this is a personal assignment I've been working on for the past 2 weeks. Just identifying all my weak points where I'm not laser focused and having that clarity in my daily operations and in my long-term operations. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to get caught up in the daily operations that I'm not planning for the long-term operations properly within my business, how I'm scaling, and the systems that go within it. So, it's just crazy, man, that you're just speaking on it. And I definitely want to holler and see if you could pick me apart, especially like how you talk about how you bashing people's heads in today. I'm curious. How did we could bash mine in?
Yeah, definitely, man. If y'all don't know, Mondo runs a company. I'm gonna let him share what that company is, but just a stand-up dude, early 20s, and just for him to be, I mean, who else is calling me, DMing me, or texting me like, "Yo, I need to get on. What you talking about is real." And it's interesting, bro. I want to bring this up to see what you think about it, like from a Latinx perspective, like when we talk about, and then not just Latinx, but then like you being early 20s, you know what I mean? Like there's like you just live, you were born in a different world, right? Than I was born into. And so my question is like as you as you listen to this conversation, like what's going through your mind as a Latinx 20-year-old with a business?
Hmm. I guess to kind of help explain that, I'd have to like go back early on when I was being raised because it's like you said, when we were babies, we had a simple system in place and knowing when we needed to eat, when we needed a diaper change, all that. And growing up as a child, I didn't have very many systems after that put in place. And I had a very chaotic childhood at that. So growing up and realizing I want better for myself and understanding that if I can't even rely on my parents to a certain degree for these systems and these understandings, then that just makes it all that more serious.
Wow.
How important it is to have clarity and intention with what I'm spending my energy doing because we only have a limited time here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I want to make sure that for the rest of the time I spent is moved within a purpose and a proper intention, not only for a better outcome for me, but those around me too, because you're not really wealthy till everyone around you is also wealthy, whether it be in knowledge, health, love, etc.
Absolutely. That's just some wisdom right there. Even that last point, because that I think I talked about that, it being I actually made a post to my family earlier, because I'm the oldest boy. And, I just feel like for me, just having this revelation that, man, if we all ain't on, we ain't on. You feel me? Because it's not the fullness of the on upon like philosophy of like ownership. It's not individual ownership, it's collectively.
Right.
It's just a different, and we say it all the time, and we say, well, different ethnic groups, they got their things together and they're doing this because they have systems.
And I'll share something with you too. This is an observation that I made. I could be wrong, so take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
But so in comparison to the Latinos and the Arabs, when the Arabs come up here, they all live together, they all share a car, and they all pool their money together. They all work together under a common goal, a common purpose. All right.
They have a clarified mission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And whether they're building a business or building enough wealth to where they can scale and grow and just take life easy, enjoy life, appreciate life. And a problem that I see in my fellow Latino communities is that yes, we're abundant in numbers, and yes, we have like the similar framework, but that lack of mission, that lack of clarity, that lack of leadership in the Latino communities prevents us from getting past that hustle stage that you was talking about, getting caught in the hustle, get to that bread. You know what I'm saying? That lack of mission, that lack of clarity keeps us stuck in these cycles where we have the groundwork and the framework right there. Just that family being in that house, all stuffed in there or
right.
stuffed in the trunk. It don't matter. That groundwork is there, but it has that lack of mission and clarity.
Man, that is so good, bro. I'm going to what I'm going to do is like I'm going to just turn this into a 3-week conversation and not try to rush this because it's so important. Like even what you said, you can look at different ethnic groups. Say you take one ethnic group and they had this understanding that we're going to come from another country and we're all going to live together.
Yep.
That's clarity. Even before they get here.
They have the plan. Before they even got here.
When they touch down, they know exactly what it is.
And they got straight to work, like ants building up in the colony, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And so it's like, to your point, shared living, culture, which means they don't have to assimilate to some degree. When you look at, let's just use South Omaha for example, bro. When they moved us out the projects in North Omaha, where do you think they sent us?
Did they send you south?
They sent us south.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I remember 20 years ago, South Fam, like it was like 20 years ago, black, white, it was all. And you go down 24th Street, the whole culture, it's Latinx culture. Why? Because the systems, bro. They done created systems. To your point, like at least if you work some kind of system together, it's proof that something is going to happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be real. There's just too much burden navigating the society and overcoming distractions like by yourself. There's just so much burden. You could do it, but it's not going to be nowhere near as efficient with the team of people that got your back.
What do you think about that comment? What I brought up about part of like clarifying your mission is identifying your distractions. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very solid base to start with, because your distractions is a spiritual warfare to a certain extent. If you distracted, that's almost like, the enemy or whoever is against you and your motion to grow is like in the Trojan horse. You know what I'm saying? What you see in the distraction, it's a pretty horse. you know what I mean, is really the enemies coming into your territory, into your mind, coming out with all this exploitative measures, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it affects us in so many ways that we don't even know, that we really have to be tapped in subconsciously with ourselves and who we are and what our mission is to even negate or realize it's a distraction. That's how good it is. I mean, it's real out here, for real.
You know, Mondo, I had another thought that it's I think sometimes it's easy to like be distracted when you feel like you're hopeless, or you feel like, you know, danged if I do, danged if I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you have that kind of mindset, and you dang if you do and you dang if you don't, at that point you just kind of stop trying to control yourself and react to the environment in a positive way, because at the end of the day, it's like, why does it matter? So,
right.
I mean, I've been there a couple times myself, and I mean, to put myself out of that mindset, you know what I mean, I really just have to remember my purpose, remember why I'm here and who I'm doing this for, because at the end of the day, my growth ain't just for me, it's for everybody. Because if my community ain't good, man, I ain't good. I'm gonna just keep it like that.
Yeah, and again, like, you're bringing up some points about you have some understanding of a clarified mission, and I hear some people might be thinking, well, Myron, do I have to have clarity on the whole mission? No, but what you do have clarity on, crystallize it. Be sure about it. You know what I'm saying?
Could you elaborate further by like crystallizing? Like, by crystallizing, do you mean like, even if you just in one part of this bigger vision, you zoomed in on this one little part, even if that part is at least crystallized, crystal clear, like you're saying, you know what I mean? That gives you the opportunity to move forward.
So that's a good question. So sometimes I do work with people who say, hey, Myron, will you come and do some reels for me, right? Some IG reels and things like that for digital marketing.
Okay.
And one of my techniques I use is I was at a first round last night doing some video work for Rose, right? He's the MC, he's the host there. So and you'll see it when he puts the video out. But part of my video piece was I took my phone and I went all the way in on a particular light, and then I backed up. It was all the way zoomed in, so the only thing you could see was the red light.
Okay.
So if someone who's watching that, all they have clarity on from that perspective is that perspective, that lens. And so what I'm saying is, sometimes we don't have the full picture, but get clarity on what we do have. Because in the video, once it's edited and published, you're gonna see it panning back and out, so then you can see the full picture. So part of clarifying your mission is identifying, okay, like, what am I clear on right now? Just like what you said. You was like, if I ain't right, if my community, what did you say? If I'm not right, my community not right.
Well, in my community, it goes both ways.
Both ways, right?
It really does, because I feel like there's certain people meant to be in our communities that we just slide into roles that is really essential. I know, like, even though what I've been doing for the community has been kind of silent to a certain degree, I still been serving the community in the ways I can best. You know what I do,
right?
Making sure that people's vehicles is straight, or they at least know a little bit more about it. Because at the end of the day, the way our society is now, if you ain't got a vehicle, you ain't gonna really be able to be on no big moves like that.
Especially Omaha.
If you got a vehicle, you can be in front to back Omaha 15, 20 minutes. That's invaluable when you're trying to network, or you're trying to get your kids to school, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I can serve my community that I do best, from a Japanese method and terminology called ikigai. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yeah, your ikigai. You got to find your ikigai.
That's my ikigai, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that I just kind of grew into, but it's really fulfilling to know that what I'm passionate about and what people need can all coincide together in that harmony. And that's how you make sure that you and your community is straight. I mean, from what I know anyways.
If anyone is watching or listening by radio and you're like, what the heck is Ikigai? It literally means reason for being. If you want a tool to work your reason for being out so that you can clarify your mission, send me an email at thisisus@On the Network. I have a tool that I can get it to you for free. Mondo, in 30 seconds, tell us what is it that you do, what's your company, and how people can get in contact with you if they need you or when they need you.
So I basically I'm a problem solver for all kind of problems regarding your home or your car. So home and auto, if y'all got a home that's busted up, needs some love or some landscaping, trees, or your car is acting up, you know what I'm saying? I provide solutions for everything according to the budget. You can call me at 531-772-6682.
Are you hitting your dashboard right now?
Huh?
Are you hitting your dashboard right now?
No, I am. My bad.
It sounds like you can hit me at 602-546-789-1011-12. I'm like, okay, bro, cool, man. Just tell us where we can reach you at, dog. Okay, tell that number again.
Yeah. 531-772-6682. Just text me, you know, if it's a car, your make and model, what your symptoms are, your name, and I'll get you prompt service. And if it's your house, just give me a brief explanation and some pictures, and chances are we can come up with a solution.
I love it. Hey, man, I love you, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you tuned in. This conversation about not mutualism, I'm thinking about King right now. This conversation about clarifying your mission is important, and I'm glad you tapped in, bro. So I'm going to holler at you.
Yeah, love, man.
All right, love. Bye. Man, I love that. Hey, I have 2 minutes left, and all I can say is this 1 hour went too fast for me. We're going to have a 3-part conversation around the M.O.E method. What's the M.O.E method? Have to know how to clarify your mission, organize your hustle, and execute consistently. I can almost predict a startup, an idea, based on whether or not those are in place. And so next week, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the execution piece, because this is where, into the organization piece, because this is where I see a lot of us miss it. If and when we connect again, hopefully we will, you can join me this Wednesday at Match. It's called Match, Mentors and Coaches Helping. It is a free resource that is hosted at 2123 Pierce Street. It's the Intrigue company that hosts events and it's just amazing things, events and short stays. And it's like a mini Ritz-Carlton, owned by the old Malara. So it's going to be there. If you have any questions on that, as far as where it's located, you can DM Ida Kosovic. And if you have information or want information on Match, just know it's free. That's the only thing you need to know. Free. Okay? That's it. The only time you're going to get free from me. Okay? Because I don't want you thinking that it's about you getting something for free, but I want you thinking that it's about you paying for what's valuable. Okay? So Match this Wednesday, 10:30 to noon, 2123 Pierce Street. You need to know about that. And then also go to my page on Facebook or Intrigue Midwest. We're hosting a vendor event. It's called Beats and Boutiques. DJs all throughout the facility, in and out, food trucks, fun. I think we may have an inflatable day club. Food's going to be served, and there's going to be an opportunity for small businesses and community to come together. It's going to be an event unlike you have ever seen in your life. Okay? If you need resources further than this, and you want to tap in, you want a business coaching opportunity with me, tap in. I'm actually moving more towards group coaching, right? A lot of y'all took advantage and leaned into individual coaching with me, and that was cool for a season. But Myron Pierce is pivoting, baby. I'm pivoting. Okay, so if you want to get coached even around this framework of clarifying your mission. If I can get a good group of y'all together, we'll do a 4-week series on it. So DM me, email me. This is us at ownthepondnetwork.com. This has been fun. Do not forget, it's not on you, it's in you. You're a big fish. You have potential. You're a mighty oak tree, even though you look like an acorn, baby. And I believe in you. I believe, listen to me when I'm talking to you as I land this plane. I believe in you, but that's not enough. Do you believe in you? Let's clarify your mission, organize your hustle, and execute consistently. And I promise you, the mentee who eventually fired his boss, you might have a story like his, because he's at 6 figures now. I'll let y'all.